My name is Stephen Stonebreaker. I am a former associate of Jason James. I knew Jason for approximately 9.5 years. The video you listen to today serves as a warning to anyone who knows Jason James and the dangers that exist in associating with him. He is a dangerous individual, a master of manipulation, a talented con artist and scammer. The con that he pulled on me cost me in about every way imaginable, and if I can prevent this from happening to someone else, I will. I met Jason James in Davenport, Iowa back in January 2011. Both inspiring to one day work in films and television, we immediately clicked as his dream was to be a director and my dream was to be a screenplay writer. Over the next near decade, we spoke on the phone 3 to 4 times per week, often at intervals of 2 to 3 hours. He visited my home when I lived in Iowa City and when I lived in Des Moines. He once had a job interview in Ottumwa, where I drove him from the airport to his job interview and showed him around the community. When he lived in Bristol, Tennessee, I flew down and spent a week with him, working on a project that we had entitled Histography, in which I wrote, he shot and directed, and we both acted in. As time went on, we worked on other projects, including an idea for a television series we came up with that we entitled We Have Everything. We wrote a total of 9 screenplays. Jason wrote 2 and I wrote 9. Believing that combining our talents would be our best bet at a chance of success, after telling Jason that my girlfriend Ashley and I were considering a move to Chattanooga, Tennessee, Jason suggested that we instead move to Orlando, Florida, where he was living. This would give the two of us a chance to work on more collaborations together and create more product. Agreeing with Jason, he found us a very nice apartment in Lake Murray, Florida, and convinced me that we needed to jump on it immediately, as the landlord told him that it was a first-come, first-served basis. Jason said that he needed $1,500 for the deposit, $500 for the pet deposit, $1,450 for the first month's rent, and a $50 application fee. I sent the money down to him, trusting that he would use it to secure our future home. When Ashley and I arrived in Florida, we came to find out that Jason had used the $3,500 that I sent him for something else. He claimed that he used the money to remove life-threatening polyps from his colon. With COVID-19 going on, we were unable to investigate Jason's claims at the time, but I have since looked further into the situation and now know this to be a lie. Jason agreed that he should not have misappropriated the money that I sent him and agreed to pay us back in increments over the course of the year. My dream of living in Florida now dead, Ashley and I headed back to Iowa. Once we crossed the Florida line into Georgia, Jason cut off contact with me. He completely ghosted me and I have never heard from him since. He never paid me back a dime of what he stole from me. As a result of what Jason did to us, my girlfriend and I, we lost our home, our dream. We were homeless for 3 weeks, ended up having to live with an insane drug addict in the ghetto for 3 months. My beloved cat, Miss Peanut, ended up dying because of the stress, and all in all, this ended up costing me about $25,000. I investigated Jason James, trying to figure out who was this man that I called my friend for nearly 10 years. Who was this man that I thought so highly of? Someone that I would have asked to have been the best man in my wedding. A guy that I would have asked to have been the godfather of my children. Who was he? Who was Jason James? Investigation led me to discover that he had done something similar to what he had done to me to 3 other people. There are probably more. Without this warning, there probably will be more. Going to his hometown on 2 separate occasions, Byron, Illinois, his mother met with me in a mafia style, like how the mafia would meet with somebody, meeting, giving me no information or explanation as to who her son was or why he did this to me. She simply paid me back a little over 50% of what Jason had stolen from me and asked that I not return to the area. I promised her that I wouldn't pursue Jason for any more money and I wouldn't go after him legally, but I did make it very clear to her that I would never stop trying to prevent him from ruining other people's lives, from him pulling a con like this on someone else. What he did to me will affect me for the rest of my life. It's something that changed me forever. I do not want this to happen to anyone ever again. I will be Jason James' final victim. He won't hurt anyone else.